So if you look at a human digestive system, this is what it looks like, right? So after we take in food, right? Okay, then this has to go through the digestive system and then has to be absorbed, right? So how it gets broken down into smaller molecules and also how it gets actually absorbed into the bloodstream, okay? That's what we're going to talk about in this part of the chapter, okay? So when we eat food, first, okay, first thing that they go through is the mouth, right? So in the mouth, what happens is they go through mechanical and chemical digestion. Okay, mechanical means like you actually grind the food into like smaller pieces. Okay, so this is like grinding. Okay, but also the chemical digestion. Chemical digestion means like using the enzyme, you actually break the macromolecules into the smaller molecules. So this is like breaking down using enzyme. Okay, so what kind of chemical digestion occurs is the breakdown of carbohydrates. Okay, so in the mouth, we secrete the enzyme that's called amylase. Okay, so amylase is the enzyme that's secreted in the mouth. Okay, so this is called salivatory amylase. Okay, and this actually breaks down the polysaccharide, the starch. Okay, the polysaccharide. Okay, into smaller monomers. Okay, so into monosaccharide. Okay, or disaccharide. Okay, so this actually gets broken down into smaller molecules like this by using this kind of enzyme, amylase. Okay, so digestion, chemical digestion of carbohydrate is actually starting at the mouth. Okay, but protein or lipid or any other things actually doesn't really go through the chemical digestion at mouth. Okay, so this is the first part that they go through. That's on page 219. Okay, so mechanical and chemical digestion. After that, they're going to go through esophagus. Okay, so one thing that you have to know about esophagus is that at the start of the esophagus, we have a structure called epiglottis. Okay, so when we actually swallow food, right, epiglottis actually moves up and down in order to block the food from going to the trachea. Trachea is the airway, right? So esophagus and trachea is like right next to each other, and epiglottis actually blocks the food from going to the trachea, okay? So epiglottis actually directs the food to the esophagus, okay? If it goes to the trachea, then that's going to be a huge problem. You can't really breathe, right? That's epiglottis, and then when you go to the next page, so esophagus actually like forces food down, okay, towards the stomach. So no digestion actually occurs in the esophagus, no digestion, okay? Well, it just moves the food down towards the stomach, okay? So when the food actually reaches the stomach, then here is another place of digestion, okay? So stomach actually does the chemical digestion, okay? So chemical digestion actually occurs in the stomach as well, all right? So when you go to page 220, okay, so mechanical and chemical digestion occurs here. So chemical digestion usually is for the proteins. Okay, so protein actually gets broken down into amino acid or dipeptide. Like this, okay? Protein, remember this is a polypeptides. Okay, so this gets broken down into smaller molecules like this, okay? So out of the stomach, we have an enzyme that's secreted into this space, okay? In order to break down protein, okay? So that enzyme, this enzyme is called pepsin. Okay, so remember for the mouth, we use the amylase in order to break down the carbohydrates. But in the stomach, the protein digestion occurs, okay, by using the pepsin as the enzyme, and that's secreted from the stomach cells. Okay?